Good evening, everybody. System Shock here with the 55th episode, I believe, of the YouTube run through Book of Hours, our first run through Book of Hours on YouTube. So this is a little bit of an odd spot that I find myself in the day, so I need to make sure that I have a couple of wall art items that I attach to this book. I need to try, if I can, one of the things I want to try and do is transform this hail into something something a little more permanent. Actually, some perniculate might be what the doctor ordered. Okay. I'm going to have a think about that. And then I will try and use at least the shaft to level up Serpents and Venoms. I don't have much hope beyond that, but really this is just to preserve the hindsight. So overall, not a terrible day, not a day that I can't manage, but it's just a very weird set of priorities. So let's keep the opportunities up. As soon as this becomes available, I'm going to take a peek. Okay, so step number 1, we will go to the dueling hall and we will add Zita's practice sword. A varnished length of wood, the name Azita is inlaid in silver. With keeper level Winter, Solomon's preparations are a precursor to the great ink Nillicant. Okay, so this thing doesn't like edge on its own. Trying to think how I might be able to make something of this. Okay, well this is a non-starter because of the lack of sky. This thing doesn't take edge, so that may not work out as well. At the very least with hail I can add something here. Nope, but then I can't add my frost. Okay, this is harder than I thought. The big problem here is that the practice equipment doesn't really let me put any real inputs in. So I'm sort of stuck with the alchemy set, which on its own isn't a hardship, but I think all of my edge stuff is moon oriented. So until I get the Nocturnary, it doesn't really help. Yeah, again, there's some possibilities, but let's wait a little while on that, I think, at least until I have my skill back. So take a moment to look at something here. As soon as the shot becomes available, we'll level up Serpents and Venoms, and then I guess we'll play the rest by ear at this point. Okay, there's still a chance. Merdad's practice sword. A varnished length of wood, the name Merdad is inlaid in gold. So this did give us what we needed for for the edge. I'm happy with that. I've got 10 seconds to do something. Yeah, I think honestly, at this point, it's kind of a last ditch with Sickle and Eclipse. Let's see maybe if I can make the Parabate. But, Perniculate. But otherwise I think it's a lost cause. Okay, and Serpents and Venoms is not going to be level 2, it's going to be level 3 at the end of all of this. So let's take our level 2s, we'll move. I think I kind of want to keep these two up high. But yeah, let's at least get some preliminary work done here. Am I a complete idiot? I'll take them. It was the tryst I wanted to bring back. I'm done. I don't care. I'll just get this back the old-fashioned way. if I can find a fancy way to get a higher level of winter in here, this will actually be a way that I could, so I'd have to add the Faust here. Like, oh god, how do I even do this? Sights and sensations. Yeah, I need to somehow put together, I need to find a 3 winter. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, I blew it. There's no other way of putting it. I could I'm trying to think if there's something I want to do with the Arab here. Well, okay, there is actually one thing I can do with the Arab. I can read Zeratio Quercum again. Maybe we don't consider, though. Nona's desk has Grail. Excuse me. I think it's clear why I thought Serpents and Venom was Shapt, like, because of the knock reference, but still, that was dumb of me. Excuse me. Alright, there's still a chance. The Book of True Blood, Cassius the Tommen reveals the deeds of the Unnumbered Legion, the secret army that protected Rome against the Shadowless Empire. The Legion's legate answered directly to the hour called the Tribune of Scars and was promised immortality if he died in battle. In the final part, Cassius confesses to being the former legate. He recounts his terror of the Tribune and divulges the secret lore of the Golden General, the champion of the Shadowless Empire, the enemy of the Tribune, in hope that the Tribune will someday be undone. So, Menescate Reflections for that, and Fear. I think we have a Fear pile. Yes. Although we're running out of space, so I may want to change that around. Now, Menescate Reflections, I don't think we have the start of, so there's at least a start there. And the real shame about this is that could have been used to level up Serpents and Venoms to 2, or we could have used... It has a few of the... Because this has Forge, I could have... Yeah. Alright, well, you know what, let's just learn Menescate Reflections and we'll deal with the rest as it comes. Use this lesson to acquire new skill. So I'm making some money, but this is actually one case where I could have used the Forge and the Fear to level... Oh, sorry, the Shapt and the Fear to level things up. So I think I did say I was going to see if I could try and do something fancy with Sickle and Eclipse. So my best bet here would be to try and use the Foundry. But then it doesn't let me use my Faust, so that's... I think that is well and truly done then. Okay, so my next best, I could take the Practic Garden dummy, I could take Sickle and Eclipse. I could add Hail, and I guess Fear, because that's going away anyway. So darn close. So I tried the same trick in the Chancel. What do I think is going to be different this time? The fact that I can add an item. Okay, not a bad idea, but I know I can't add the Libidic Tincture, so what else did I think it was going to happen? I thought a miracle would happen. There's no other possible explanation. So one last time, let's go Auroral Contemplations in this case. We should be able to add the Hail. Okay, Torg's Cleansing. I guess I don't really need to worry about adding the Fear. But yes, I do actually have an idea for what to do with that. I think tomorrow we'll digest what we already have rather than trying to pursue new efforts. Another leaf on the Tree of Wisdoms. Wisdom is purified, within is erased. Sorry, without is purified, within is erased. So yeah, I think for the rest of autumn, I'm just going to digest what I already have. I will pour myself a glass of water because we are going to make another another Solomon's preparation. Okay, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer through the day. I suppose the good news is I shouldn't be needing to run and and earn some money. We will take the Thunderskin with me. I do have the option, just if I ever want to take a look. Oh, actually it's just the touch, so. So we'll give the night a little bit longer. And then we go to the Practic Garden dummy. We'll add Auroral Contemplations. So this is just a chance for me to try and turn this into something I can use to upgrade Menescape Reflections. So... actually, I wonder. There you go. Why not? I guess it doesn't really matter at this point, so... I was slightly worried for a second I used one of the Menescape Reflection memories there. That would have been very sad, but yeah, so the idea behind this is that this is just a way overnight I can turn that into a Torg's Cleansing, and then that'll give me an edge memory that I can use to level up Menescape Reflection. So at that point, then we just worry about generating things for Serpents and Venoms. Now, an interesting follow-up question would be, do I want to try and do anything with Mr. or Mrs. Kill tomorrow? Because technically with Mr. Kill, I can give him a Solomon's preparation and get him to open up a new room. But it may not be the most exciting thing that I can do with him. And the reason why I'm asking that question is it may make sense to have... So basically, it may make sense to bring Mrs. Kill in so that she can generate some memories for me. Alternatively... Well, okay, let's actually think about that for a second. So... the Whist is spoken for because we're going to make Solomon's preparation. In fact, let's just say we're doing that now, no matter what. What on earth was that? There we go. We'll add Inks of Containment, Whist. I forgot the memory. Okay. So, Winter Memory with the Arab. Yeah, okay. I think I have a rough idea of how the day's going to go. So yeah, we won't worry about Mrs. Kill. I am, however, going to try and just generate things. So let's read The Fallen Cross, Sky Echoes. We'll also go to Nona's desk with the Arab here. So here we'll read Oblations in Iron. Okay, so we're going to use the Tryst to level up Serpents and Venoms. I guess I'll have to use the health as well, so no beekeeping for me. Well, that was an interesting choice that I made to use both Arab, but we can still use the Shapt here, so... Yes, we are good. So these are going to be what I generate the memories in order to do the things that I want to do. So I think we'll just leave it be for now. We'll get our first phase done. We'll see what the weather brings, and then we can decide on phase 2. I don't need to do everything at the start of the day. Okay. Gale is interesting. I've carried the memory like a flambeau safe through the mazes of night. The reason why that's interesting is that may be the time for me to use the core to read a certain heart text. Commandments for the preservation of all that exists. So if we use the Thunderskin, drums and dances is my best. We add my beloved cake bowls, kitchen bowls. Okay, so that gives me 12 of 14. Yeah, so as long as we get a memory, we're good. So this is worth trying. So, Heart, Distant Thunder. Perhaps you provided heart, but not enough to match Mystery Heart. If you're lucky, you might still succeed. For fun, let's make a little bit of money at the Sweet Bones, because I'm not going to be using this right away. I'll be using it within a minute, but... Okay. Cleansing has left my skin burning, my teeth throbbing. The corvality rumbles beneath the membranous surfaces of the waking world. So in this case, we will use this to level up Miniscate Reflections. There's always more to learn. Improve the skill to level 3. This will increase its aspects, which will help with crafting, and make it suitable for higher branches in the Tree of Wisdoms. Okay, so the rest of this is going to be focused on serpents and venoms. Oh, and I don't know what I'm waiting for on the... Right, no, now I know what I'm waiting for on the list. So I do need to remember to keep the heart screen up, because I do have a bad habit of forgetting the the attempts. Okay, good start. The skill is now level 2. Its power aspects have also increased. Now would not be a bad time for me to use the Foss to investigate some more furniture, I think. Is there something else that I need to be using it for right now, though? I don't think so. So, I know I can't do it with Gideon DeWolf or Fraser Strathcoin. I think Lady DeBrouse will work, though. Investigate this object. And as always, we go back to Natan's desk just in case. Okay. Fallen Cross, in which Julian Cosley, Magus, immortal, occasional anarchist, argues that through language the Carapace Cross decayed to seed the lives of our ancestors. Speech is a wound, silence is silver. There is no silver door, nor can there be, even in the moon's house. Without language there can be no words. Without words there can be no message. But only in silence can there be no error. And lo, even in that beginning, in that first of messages, an error, thus did we enter the house. So that is going to be used to create the Solomon's Preparation. I'm going to be very happy when I can level up Sights and Sensations or Inks of Containment so that I don't need to do the song and dance every time I want to make Solomon's Preparation. Muddle and mix a wintry preparation. Okay, Oblations in Iron. A monster hunting initiate of the hour called the Colonel, who identifies herself as Little Sophia, records the exhibits she has rendered to the Worm Museum in the Mansis. Little Sophia has never visited the Worm Museum, or even the Mansis in person, and evidently has no desire to do so. She mixes ink, which incorporates the remains of her prey, writes her records in that ink, then burns them before the colonel's altar. It was essential, however, to permit no drop of the ink thereby obtained to enter any portal of the body, even a break in the barrier of the skin. Should any fragment of the worm remain viable, it might enter thereby, and the hunt's ultimate conclusion be melancholy indeed. So, in 12 seconds we'll use that to level up Serpents and Venoms. And as always, we go back and see what's up with the Distant Thunder. Okay, so it's Stuff Also Things, Duende, and Extra Effort Soul. So fortunately, the core will save me here. Gale was not needed, though. I might still make something out of that, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm on top of the requests. As I used to say in my youth, the day is done, and so am I, but I've earned my pay. Alright, so 5.5 seconds. Now is the time for us to consider the next phase. So we need Scale and Moon. So Contradiction will actually cover that for me, but let's I don't know, let's keep focused. So number 1, I will get the Hindsight again. So 7 shards. I guess Salt will work too, so let's do the Sea Does Not Regret, and that's partly because, ooh, it just occurred to me I don't have an element of the soul I can use there. So I'm gonna have to pay to renew... Well, I guess I'm already getting the metal back. Alternatively, I could try... There's a couple things I can try, but I don't need to get clever. The reason why I'm earning the money is so that I can do things like renew my elements of the soul, so. Lady de Braus, sometimes known affectionately as the First Ava. Lady de Braus never visited the Isle, but was her generous endowment that allowed the abbey to thrive and grow in the 13th century. Why did Ava de Braus, a widower of a marcher lord from much further north, take such an interest in St. Brendan's? There are stories. Alright, let's get started on Serpents and Venoms. So we will go for Serpents and Venoms, add the Hindsight, add the Tryst. There's always more to learn. And what do I want to do with the Faust? I don't think anything right now. We will read Lady Rowena, but later. I almost blew it. I think Stuff Also Things might have done the ooh. No, but see, that wall art doesn't count as a thing. Yeah, I almost made a boo-boo. Yeah, let's not get cute. Let's just use the core and take our win. If I have to pay to restore elements of the soul, that is completely fine because we've still got most of the day available to us. So, commandments for the preservation of all that exists. Black Ellie, Damascene matriarch of the Sisterhood of the Knot, was imprisoned by the Emperor Didius Julianus. She reportedly instructed that these secret doctrines be recorded in writing to preserve against their lost. Regrettably, the story goes, Didius Julianus ordered that the work be entombed with her in an unmarked sepulchre. Ellie describes powerful protective incantations to be used in a variety of circumstances. It is essential that these protections be completed every 4th year to defend against the entry of the worms and against the avidity of the wave and the wound. In the current history, at least, there is no indication that these protections have been performed regularly for at least the last 1,000 years. So we got a satisfaction for that. Let's make sure we file it in the right place. My God. No, that's impulse. Oops. And stitching and binding, so that's going to involve... Oh no, okay. So if we play our cards right, so to speak, I should be able to see all of this stuff leveled up. Cool. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be spending money, but that's fine because that's why we we spend the money, right? So first of all, I don't think I have anybody reading a text for my next level of Serpents and Venoms. And actually, this is worth remembering. So for Serpents and Venoms, I'm actually going to need 2 memories now. So maybe we'll leave that... I think we're actually going to leave that one be for today. If I just cross over into winter and level that up, that is okay by me, because there's other things that I can do. Now that would mean that I would want to use my health for something else. So I want to. I'm probably going to need to actually make a firm decision on that. No, you know what? Actually, we've got the money. I think I'm just getting gun shy. But yeah, no, the core threw me for a loop, but we should still be able to handle that. Okay, the skill is now level 2. Its power aspects have also increased. One reason why I'm interested in this one too, I believe this might... Yeah, this actually leaves us in a better place in terms of our scale. So it may mean that these later books wind up being a bit easier for us to read. Okay, so let's get stitching and binding in. Use this lesson to acquire a new skill. And I don't know if I read this before, but these are the mother's neglected children, and we prefer that they pass not through any door. So I think the first thing I'll do is recover a core, and then I'll recover, I guess, maybe a second core and a shaft. What I'm really looking to do here is make sure that I have the elements of the soul to be able to get the relevant memories. This autumn, when the leaves rustle, the silent landlady has served me apple pie with steamed cream in the window nook. Okay, the third shard then has... Oh, okay, actually we're good. Ah. Okay, I may not actually need to recover any more elements of the soul. So I forgot that I was working on this hindsight. So the 7 shards. The Lionsmith, one of the 2 great hours of struggle, broke his sword into 7 shards. Natalian Brulot, 5th librarian of Hush House, describes the nature of each of those shards, allegorically and otherwise. The 3rd shard has been identified with the Cry of Pain. The Lionsmith is a stoic hour, but we must assume that in the sundering moment he might have been unable to restrain his distress. Now the sound of tin under pressure we call the tin cry, a reason perhaps for further identification of the 3rd shard as the Shard Royal. The 7th shard we call informally the Invincible Audacity, which is struck from the winning move as the winning move is struck from a memory, with the application of sufficient edge. That's a pretty big hint in terms of some of the things that we can produce, although I don't think Sickle and Eclipse is going to take me where I need to go there. So I think I said I was going to try and get salt because I couldn't remember what aspects it had. So I've already mastered this, but I could reread it and perhaps recall a memory. I also need to remember this because I've been organizing my library in a fairly unique way in my playthrough, and I think I forgot that The Sea Does Not Regret was by Fekri. That's a conversation for another time. Okay, looking good. Another leaf on the Tree of Wisdoms. Nothing is entirely broken, nor entirely whole, not so long as we have our needles. So the good news here is that it's not just that I have a bunch of skills, but I've actually been able to level them up. I've been able to get them to a... Did I... Maybe that's okay. Like we're able to get them to level 2 reasonably quickly. So there's going to be a little bit of dancing. So from basically strings and songs down to ragged crossroads. There's going to be a bit of a song and dance as they're sort of displaced by these languages. But I'm also reasonably confident that we'll be able to get. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get those roughly where I need them without too much effort. We'll see, as always. Like it's, I may be a little optimistic, but trying to decide if I want to do anything fancy with. Yeah, we can take a look at the statue. So we'll pick up our Solomon's Preparation. We will get the core, and then I think we'll call that for today. With Keeper level Winter, Solomon's Preparations are a precursor to the Great Ink Nilicant. So I believe that is all the preparation that I know I need. So we'll use one for the stop clock, we'll use one for the shrouded space. There's maybe a small argument I should have tried for the Squawkful Logia. So if I think about that, Mr. Kill has 1 sky. Faust would have given 1 sky, so that would be 2. The Gale would have brought that up to 5. So where would the rest have come from? Because the weather is already a memory. Astrolabe would have made that 6. I don't know if there is a sky food. So if I want to beat myself up about that, I probably shouldn't. I think I will restore an element of the soul at the Sweet Bones just for the money at this point. Okay, Lady Rowena, for as long as there has been a Hush House, there have been stories of its enigmatic protectress. A Henry Moore piece, perhaps a genuine one. Moore did speak very cautiously of an encounter with a pale commission. I've got 21 seconds, so I think we do have time for a little bit more investigation. I suspect we probably have seen some of these paintings before, but it's better for me just to... I think it's better for me just to run through them. So Leaves in the Wind, a soothing but undistinguished work in oils. Someone evidently was good at trees and wanted you to know it. Maybe I'll put the Libidic tincture in the... I need to work out the crafting shelves a little bit better, but I have at least something to work with. Okay, the sea does not regret. The sea does not regret. Isan Fekri, one-time Secretary Salvant of the Curia of the Isle, responsible for the Curia's healing efforts, writes of his experiences in Brankrug and hints at his travels elsewhere. The sea does not regret the tide, Fekri writes, for when the tide has passed, it leaves its traces on the sand, which traces are the sea's memory. Fekri is a keen fisherman, and speaks glowingly of the fish suppers in Brankrug. He also admits that his enthusiasm for the bounty of the sea has altered him, that before he came to Brankrug he consumed only those things found in the earth. I was the greater thereby, but all of us give up what we were to become what we are. So salt does have knock. That'll be good for me to remember in future. The main point of doing that was so that I could level up Serpents and Venoms. Better now. Okay, so we'll restore the shaft in this case. In the foreground, an odd curl of shadow might just be a hand reaching from a crevice in a yew tree trunk. And we'll start with Serpents and Venoms and move from there. But I think I will take care of the rest of that in Friday's episode. So thank you everybody for watching. I think there's one more episode left for the week. Definitely, I was looking forward to playing more Book of Hours. I've been enjoying the streams, but I do like this. I do like this run just because there's little differences in terms of how I've been running the library, and I think because I have a clearer idea going in, I was able to do some organization that I didn't normally take the opportunity to do. So maybe that's it. But whatever the case, I hope you have a lovely evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.